While this dries, I'm gonna make sure to put my paint into my little paint saving case. I'm not sure if I said this before, but this is clearly just an old piece of takeout Tupperware. Nothing fancy. Again, from the cupboard drawer. Welcome back to the cupboard drawer. This episode, I thought I knew what I wanted to bring to you guys. I have a whole list of project ideas. I have other projects that I'm also working on here at home. I just put down a new floor in the bathroom. It looks great. And I've been playing around with a couple of other ideas. I finally painted the backgrounds of all the other roosters. I don't know really what I'm doing with this one. And I have just one more blank one that I wasn't really sure what to do with. I was talking about it this week with someone, and they gave me the idea of doing it in the style of Vincent Van Gogh. I even prepped the paint last night for it, and I got up today to make the video, and I don't know. It's just been a struggle today. I just can't get motivated today. I have myself all prepared, and I was super productive this week. And even though it's 5 o'clock in the evening, which you don't need to know for continuity purposes, but it's almost too late to start this whole project. Unless I just sit and totally power through it. I have to do the first step anyway, which is to apply the background color. And since that's gonna take a while and it's gonna need to sit and dry, let me at least get that stuff done, and then maybe I'll find the motivation to keep on going. So this episode is Van Gogh Rooster. So like I said, I did a bunch of preparation for this beforehand. Just today, I just could not get it going. But one of the things that I did was I watched a bunch of videos on how to paint Van Gogh's Starry Night. We're gonna focus on that piece of art and use it as a template. Can you hear that? We're gonna use Van Gogh's Starry Night as a template for this rooster. It's not gonna be an exact replica. It's gonna be more of an interpretation. The other thing I did was just to brush up on intellectual property law, and Van Gogh's Starry Night is in fact in the public domain. My plan is to make the Starry Night the body and still keep the, I wanna say wattle. What is the thing under a chicken's beak called? Oh, and then also, do only chickens have them? Oh, it is a wattle. To be fair, I did think it was spelled with a D, but it's W-A-T-T-L-E-S. Oh, they're larger in males, and their size and shape differ according to breed. I don't have any idea what breed this is. I just kind of made these up. Definitely not a Plymouth Rock. If I had to choose, I would say Leghorn. Yeah, I mean, I think that's basically... In any case, we're gonna treat the body as the Starry Night, and the comb and the wattles are going to just be blue. Now, another thing that I did, a little bit of research last night, was I looked at... Oh, right, I said this before. I was watching videos on how to paint in the style of the Starry Night. I'm gonna post at least one of them over here. And one of the things that I thought was fascinating was that the base color is not actually blue. But the base color that these other artists are putting down is actually tan, or like a beigey color. I made this last night, and just keeping it in this Tupperware with some wet sponges keeps it nice and fresh. So the base coat is done, and I can't even explain to you how super excited I am about this. First of all, this took only 2 coats. This blotchy thing is like 5 coats. Totally had the wrong paint the entire time. So I want to explain this to you here because I didn't really do a good job of it on camera. These bottles of paint are both acrylic, and they both look like pretty bold colors, but they're very, very different in application. You see, the one on the left, its pigment is marked as opaque, while the one on the right is marked as semi-translucent, and I wasn't really paying attention to that. I should have painted on a piece of real paper instead of wax paper because you can't really see the difference here like I wanted, but when I hold it up to the light, you can see there's a stronger color on the left. I took time this week to get more opaque paint to help with this project. So already this project is off to a great start. I'm not gonna rag on myself anymore about not feeling motivated today. The fact is that I've been busy all week. Doing that little bit of research last night, watching those videos and knowing exactly what I need to put down, getting the right materials, that is saving me a tremendous amount of time. So I'm actually kind of feeling pretty motivated. So I'm gonna keep on going. So I did in fact kept on going. Keep on going? And I painted the wattles and the comb in the base color and let all of that dry overnight. You can see I was a little messy here and there. I left some smudges behind, but in the end, I don't think that's going to be a big deal. We're going to cover this with various shades of blue, and it should all camouflage in when it's all done. The next part is tracing out where I want all of the stars and swirls and spirals to be. I'm just freehanding what I think looks good given the shape of the rooster. I'm going to use the moon from the original painting as one of the eyes, but the rest of this is just an interpretation. There are elements from the original, like the trees and the houses, that I'm going to leave out this time around. After I'm done tracing, I'm going to go over my pencil lines in white gesso. I'm not really engaging in the short brushstroke technique here just yet. I'm just laying down a solid white line that, once again, is going to be camouflaged in at the end. I'm going to go over all the stars and the swirls, and I'm taking a second look here all over just to make sure that the layout looks really good. Now it's time for Van Gogh, and I'm starting with a medium shade of blue and following the direction of the swirls and the stars with very short brush strokes. There is a gradient effect with this painting where it goes from light to dark blue as you move away from the stars and swirls. And so as I go along, I start adding white or black paint to create the next shade that I'm going to use. Here I'm using a lighter blue and working towards the stream of white. To be honest, whenever I paint, I get really impatient with the progress. I want it to look amazing from the get-go, and I hate going through the, quote, ugly stage. I start to lose confidence, and sometimes I'll even walk away. And sometimes walking away can be good. It can give you some clarity, but I had to keep reminding myself with this project, with this rooster, to keep on going, to get through the ugly stage, and that this is going to look really great in the end. Here I'm moving on to the dark blues, away from the white outline, and I'm going to finish that before taking a little break. I worked on this a little off camera, mixing more shades of blue and adding more and more layers. I also dotted each of the stars with a little red, and I'm going to go over that with yellow similar to the original painting. I'm trying really hard here to be careful not to fully cover up the red, and after that I'm going to start working on gradienting. I'm going to start filling out the gradient around the stars from light to dark. And then I'm going to add a few more layers, work on some finishing touches, and I think I'm well past the ugly stage and really love the way that this is coming out. This was another amazing project. I am so excited how this turned out. You can see the moon and the flowing of all the stars and the wind and the clouds. It was really great interpretation of a starry night. I really like the way that I kept the comb and the wattles a solid color. I love the way that the stars came out. This is such a cool piece. And it was a suggestion from a viewer. So put your suggestions below. I'm trying to come up with new ideas all the time. Add in your comments, tell me what you think I should do next. Of course, like this video and subscribe, and check us out next time on the next episode of The Cupboard Drawer. All right, and we are recording. Still have the squeaky chair. What are we going to eventually do about that? It's going to... Whoa, yeah, that definitely picks up. Okay, I'm a little all over the place.